I got my dogs with me. There's Junkyard 1. Say hi, Junkyard. No, it's actually Willow. Willow, say hi to the camera. Say hi. There you
There we go. Hey, he's a good boy.
George is in the back.
Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy?
Are you a good boy, George?
Live from the Talking Joe Studios, it's Talking Joe.
Talking Joe is on the air.
Hey, it's me, Mark, and welcome to Talking Joe, the G.I. Joe Comics podcast. Now, today, I will be joined by Josh Eggs and Beans, a.k.a. Josh Eggebeen, to discuss his latest offering from the After Action Report stable. It is the TNA Trivia and Activity book, Dirty-Minded Individuals. And yeah, it is on Kickstarter now, and he will be joining me to talk about it. And look, I am wearing my Rise of Cobra jacket. Another thing from Rise of Cobra is Josh.
Yes.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, everybody. I'm coming to you live from my car because I didn't make it home in time. So, but I don't know if you can see in the background, I got my dog. There's George. Can you see him? Yeah, you can see him. I like to call him V1 because that's Junkyard V1. Mm-hmm. And then I have my other dog here in the front. This is Willow.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and sleepy. She's Junkyard V2. You know, because Junkyard comes solid black and then one with the brown coloring. I think the cartoon had the brown color. Yeah, I got two.
You got to collect all the variants, even of the dogs.
Exactly. Yeah, they're about 6 years old. So the Junkyard joke is still running strong.
There we go. And so, Josh, if people don't know you, I can't imagine how that's possible. But you are the author of After Action Report, which has brought us After Action Report Volume 1. The Marvel Years. After Action Report Volume 2, The Devil's Due Years. After Action Report Volume 3, The IDW Harmer Years. After Action Report History of G.I. Joe Issue Number 1.
21. 21.
What did I say?
21,
of course.
Yes.
I'm number blind. And then the checklist featuring a very comprehensive checklist, but also a big focus on the Transformers. Command Files with Greg Augustin. Volume 1, Volume 2 will be on its way if the Pirates of the High Seas don't stop it. You've got one in your hand.
No, it's a postcard. We made some postcards for Command Files, but that's the from Wild Bill's in Command Files too. So yes, it's on the high seas. It's assuming they don't tell us exactly where on the high seas, but it should arrive in the Long Beach port, which is right near here in Los Angeles, which is where I'm at, where I live, and where I like to call the After Action Report HQ. So once it gets to the port, then it's very quick, for us to get it in hand. It's possible that it might arrive while I'm actually in Iowa for assembly required. Here, I'll be leaving. This is what is this? Thursday before a week before. So I'll be leaving on Monday or Tuesday. Driving out there to Iowa to represent After Action Report. Greg Augustin will be joining me. Roger Taft will not. And we will have a table just like before. I mean, Mark, I know you've been there, so it's a fun convention, and of course, we will be able to. We were hoping to have the books, but that doesn't quite have how it works sometimes. But that Kickstarter is almost done, and then we have a new Kickstarter that just started, which is why I'm here to talk to Mark, because he is the comic podcast guy.
Yeah, it's the TNA. It's not despite the name TNA, it's not it's not covering the Skybound variant covers, the retailer variants. The Baroness and the Chameleon and CoverGirl. It actually stands for Trivia and Activity Book. And Josh, I guess I've counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more on the C's. That's 7. So we must have probably had at least 7 conversations about your books.
Well, you got to talk about comics. You got to come to your podcast. You're the man. You and Tim. I mean, Tim helped with the History of Number 21 book. He contributed a fair amount to that book, so he's part of the AAR team too, also. But this is what's really cool about like your podcast, because I've been on many of the podcasts, and they often are more toy focused. You know what I mean? And then they talk about it. But like, you don't even talk about the toys. That's awesome. And I don't even care about the toys much. I like to joke with my other Joe friends that G.I. Joe is a comic first and then a toy. And they're like, how can you say that? And I'm like, the characters and Larry Hama and all that stuff came first. And then they made the toys. Like, no, they didn't. They made the toys and then Hama. And I was like, all right, well, I lose that argument. But I like to try to make it.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it's about the characters and it's about the story. And without that, it's just lumps of plastic. So, I mean, each thing, you can enjoy it in, you be you, enjoy the hobby in the way that works for you. But for me, I think it's, it's the story, it's the art, it's bringing the characters to life. But, love the toys as well, love the designs. Love the whole world that's created in G.I. Joe, and it's nice that people can come with their own leanings as to what is the bit that appeals to them, more than anything else.
I mean, in the History of Number 21 book, I made a point about how that comic, which is influential as it is, and for thousands of reasons, came out at the 2-year mark of a toy line and introduced that Snake Eyes Storm Shadow rivalry, which of course, once those two became rivals and Arashikage and ninjas, like that's when the comic really, really took off. And I think, there's no way to really prove this, but a lot of toy lines at the 2-year mark kind of fizzle and start going down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And G.I. Joe shot up. That's 1984. Now, is that comic directly tied to that? No, but the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow rivalry is, which of course had introduced that, and so you get that aspect of like all of a sudden now there's a like this rivalry, and that's the story. I mean, that comes from Larry and this famous comic book, and I think that very much kept the toy line alive and then rocketed it past that, and that's right about the same time when the cartoon showed up too. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like this whole synergy of a lot of things. And that happened right then. And, I'm a comic first guy. Like, that was my first thing. I got a comic before I got a toy. In 1982, I got number 5. And then I ended up getting Flash a little bit later as a toy. And then I got all the toys and kept going with the comics. But I mean, it's like, it's just magic that happened. And, without the comic, I don't think the magic would have happened to the same degree. And then also, if you add the file cards on the back, right, that really gave the characters the character. You know what I mean? All these things that he put on there that, like, most kids are like, I don't even know what these letters and numbers on the file card, serial numbers mean, or what are all these numbers in connection with a gun? I don't know. There was no internet to look it up, so you had to guess. And so, that's why that's where, like, I think both of us are just like, let's just talk about comics. Like, you talk about them and you do all these awesome breakdowns, and I've been able to make books on them. And I mean, with Roger and Greg, and I have a new partner for this one, for the Trivia and Activity book, is Greg Viola. He actually has his own podcast. It's called Chaplain's Assistant's Motor Pod. It's kind of small, but he's
Small but mighty.
yeah, he's growing, and that's kind of the point. But like his focus is more toys. But he had badgered me a whole bunch about like some of the errors in the books, and he's like, man, he's like, let me edit your books or review them or whatever. Like I'm really good at that. So kind of like what Roger did to me in 2020 when he called me up and said, hey, Josh, you want to make a book? That'll take about a year. And then 5 years later, you've shown off all the books that we've made. Like we just kind of went crazy. And but I mean, like I love it. Like this is what I want to do. But if I could just keep making them, I'll make them up and get them done. And part of what the reason for this new book and the style of it is to basically focus on the story between the pages. Like all of our other books are more about the physical comic, collecting it, the covers, kind of the creators and things like that. The story elements are a part of it, right? The other After X Report comic guides, and then of course the character guides are about the characters too, and that has more to do with a little bit more of the stories. So we realized that like we wanted to kind of do a book on all of the stories, but just doing summaries and reprinting summaries and stuff like that was kind of dull. And there's a lot of websites out there that already do that to a certain degree, and then of course like you with your breakdowns and things like that, so you can find a lot of that. So we came up with the idea of doing trivia, and of course we're all Gen X, so trivia books and Trivia Pursuit are super cool. I don't know if kids these days want to read a trivia book, but maybe a dad can read it to the games with his kids in the trivia and do activities. We got word finds, and we're going to do some word scrambles, I think, and some connect the dots maybe, but definitely word finds. But yeah, as you can see on the screen there, it's a very different format book. So if you leave it right there where you're at, so the top part of that, scroll down just a bit. Yeah, so that's the questions. So that's what the book's going to look like for the questions. You see there's little tabs on the top. That's going to be per era. And then if you scroll down, so there's no covers and there's no pictures and there's no art, and it's really just truly a more of a real book, right? It's going to be about 300 pages, be 6x9, all black and white, and just questions and words. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But
it's
like
words,
yeah, but what the point of what we did and is that we organized it per issue. So there's at least three questions per issue from 1982 to it's probably going to end at 324. And so that's Marvel,
all the way to present
IDW, Skybound, and then we are doing the Devil's Due era, Real American Hero, because when that came out in 2001, it was the real continuity. So we're doing all four of those. And actually what's on the screen there is an example of how the tabs will look on the book. So you'll be able to go from like Marvel to, like in the mid, like that's a real book of a real trivia book that I bought that I was like, oh, this would be a good idea to do. Because we already kind of did the tabs anyway in the other books, but they were just all based on colors, and we're not doing colors this time. So that's really been what this whole book is about. I mean, and so we wanted to really focus on the stories between the pages. And so we came up with this trivia. And then we're also going to mix in a lot of comic history. Like on this page here, viewers, if you look on the right, there's like a box on the right that's a bunch of words. So that, I think this example is of how important number 26 and number 27 are to G.I. Joe. So we will mix in a lot of that. The common knowledge, and some of it's all very common knowledge stuff, but or as you're going along answering questions, you'll get some context to what's happening in outside of the questions and the stories. But I did a deep dive. I tried to do at least 3 questions per issue, and one would usually be kind of based on what was on the cover, and then the other 2 are story based. And then of course, like with 21, some of these other ones, we have like 10 or 15 questions because there's a lot of important stuff happening. And so the idea is that as you read the questions, you can really learn about the stories that Ham has created. And for most people, like they know the Marvel, they might kind of know the IDW, but they don't know the big details about IDW. I mean, like you do, and you and Tim have done an amazing job of putting it out there so that people can like look up those issues and stuff. But most people maybe read it once or twice and put it in a box, and that's it. So that's the concept of the trivia and activity book. For after we're still doing the whole like let's give the fans a lot of knowledge. I like to call it a fun resource.
Cool. So
that's
a bit of fun and a bit of education, because there'll be the questions, and if you don't know the questions, you can find the answers, and then also be all of the little boxes, sort of with summaries and histories and that kind of thing. And even if you don't know the stuff, there's things like word searches that you can kind of do. So you're using Print Ninja again, who you've used for your last couple of books. You've used them for 6 books now. Good grief. Yeah.
We had that whole drama. I don't want to go into that, but Print Ninja helped us solve that. So they're gonna keep getting our business, and they they're really good with getting the book in the final format. Like this is something that's been a big learning curve. So you make the book, you write it, you design it, everything, and then you send it to the printer, and the printer's like, well, we got to do this and that, to kind of get it on the page. Because when they print a book, then they print it on paper, and then they trim it and cut it, and all these things like that. And then, I got that down now. I know how to do it now. But it took a couple books to get that kind of sorted out, and because there's so many aspects of making books, and of course then you got to promote it and sell it, and we have our website and afteractionreport.net and all these things like that you got to do after you make the book. And making the book is like kind of the real fun part, the creative side of it. I basically shut myself off in my house for about 2 weeks, didn't really do much, and just went through the compendiums and the trade paperbacks and everything that I had, and was like, okay, here's the question. Here's what's the cover? Okay, well, let's make a question of the cover. And I banged it all out really quickly. And then I recruited Gary because he had bugged me so much, even at Joe Fest. Happened to wear a Joe Fest shirt. Really was like, man, like there's little errors in your book. I'm like, we're just guys making these books. We don't have professional editors. We try, we got some experts, and I think you helped with one book, the third one, I think, right?
Yeah, at least 2. Yeah, at least 2 or 3.
Yeah. And just reviewing and editing. And it's like, you get 5-6 people that look at it. You think you'd find them all, but we don't.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. It's be like as soon as you hit, final print, you'll look at it again and go, oh, right, there, missed that one. There's every time there's no way you can miss. You can not let anything through. Look, even on the latest Skybound preview of issue 322 that got released just today. I'll find this for you. Can you spot the typo? Can you spot the typo?
I think they spelled. Is it Dreadnoughts wrong?
Yeah,
no.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's Dreadnoughts
with a C.
With a CKS. Yeah.
Yeah.
So even the pros, will let something slip through. So
yeah. The other, I don't know, some convention I was at, I forget which one it was. Some guy was flipping through volume 3, and he was looking at the Molto character, and he's from Manila, and apparently I spelled it with 2 L's and it's 1 L, and I was like, oh. And I was like, damn it, they're sitting right there on the table, they find an error, and I was like, oh. How's that flip through? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like spell check, and then you put it in the computer, and but that's why Gary has come on. Like he's helped me a lot with that, and we're going to get a couple other people once we kind of get all the questions settled to do some reviews. So you're welcome to take a look at it again. But this is over 1,000 questions I made. So it's not quick.
Yeah.
But, so thank you for having me on. And, the project is funded. I mean, this is a different size and style of book. So it's cheaper than our other ones. The other ones were 35. This one's 20 because, it's just, it's more like a regular book you'd buy at Barnes and Noble size. You know what I mean? So it's cheaper to print it. And so we're selling it for cheaper. So, we had a lower stretch goal or a lower main goal, which we already hit. We hit it within 12 hours. Granted, it was only $1,200.
Fast.
So, but that, that gets us most of the way to getting it all printed. Not all the money, but we figured we would do beyond that, of course. So thank you all the backers, and almost every backer's name that I saw on the list that has backed it so far is somebody that's already bought one of our books or backed our other Kickstarters. So thank you guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that just shows that what we're doing is popular and they like it. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how often you use the books in reference for all your guys' work, but there was a recent book that just came out. It's called Fighting for Freedom by James McFadden, a book he'd been working on for a decade, right? Like long before, like Roger and I started After Action Report in 2020, and I had helped him with his book probably 2016, 17, 18, somewhere in there. I don't know. He can't even remember either.
Yeah.
And of course, that was back when I was still active with yojo.com comic section. So I helped him with his book, and his book is the continuity also, but it's in story chronological format. I don't know if you've gotten that book yet, but it's well worth getting. And it's all words too. It's a bigger one. I think it's 8 by 11. But so all of a sudden now there's 2 G.I. Joe books just on the continuity that are really great resources. Well, our book's not ready yet, but that's why we did Kickstarter. He actually had a printer, a publisher that helped him with his book. And I was like, oh, wow, we could try that. But
yeah, he was creating the My Useless Knowledge website all the way back in the day at sort of in the Devil's Due era. So he was one of the main go-to resources to look at G.I. Joe continuity all the way back then. So you could say that this is almost a quarter of a century in the making, his book.
Yeah.
And definitely hats off to him.
And because I had helped him there, but I had also he had gotten the volume 1 After Action Report. So this is a personal moment of like, holy shit. Like, these books are only, the volume 1's only 5 years old. And there's already now a book that has put After Action Report in it as a reference. So I was like, oh, now I'm official. Now it's official. So, and that's kind of what we're trying to do with the TNA book here too, is to have more of the stories, so to match the guidebook side of it. But so I have a game. You want to play a game?
Yeah, I was just going to say we'll do the game. I was just going to say that your Kickstarter is running till December the 12th, 2025. Yeah. So mid December, let's say. So if you're watching this, you've got a little bit of time, but try and get your backing in before it closes. And otherwise, if you do that, if you miss that, you can probably get it on the afteractionreport.net down the line, or bump into Josh at one of the many Joe cons that he attends in person now, touring the country with your
I do. Well, actually, the reason we're ending it on the 11th is because December 7th, like I said, I'm out here in LA, is the SoCal Joe show. So I'll be attending that, and then it's a couple days after that, and we're ending it. So I get Assembly Required, SoCal Joe show in for this Kickstarter. The last Kickstarter we ran it for almost 90 days or 60 days, which was a really long one. But we got both the Dallas and the Joe Fest conventions in, as well as another one that I was at here in California, and a couple that Roger were in Florida in between. So I think we were at like 5 for that one, and I'll be at 2 for this one. So it kind of works pretty well because like you stand at the table and be like, hey, back to Kickstarter. Here's a free poster print. I don't know, whatever. You know, like we got these flyers that I showed earlier. Be like, here, have a free flyer. You know, be a backer.
Very good. All right, you got a quiz for me?
I do. All right. So where'd my other? I got 2 phones. Now where'd my other phone go? Where did it go?
The dog ate it.
The dog ate it.
Sir, the dog ate my phone.
Did you eat it, Willow?
Did you eat his phone?
Did you eat my phone? You gotta look at the phone.
Did you eat his phone?
Did you look at the fans? Just like, get that thing out of my face. Oh, here it is. All right. All right. So we're going to call this the Trivia and Activity, or TNA.
Boobs and butts.
What?
I said boobs and butts.
Boobs
TNA.
and butts. Confused Mark quiz questions.
Okay.
Or maybe let's test Mark. How about that? Let's test Mark's comic knowledge. All right. So these questions are all straight from the book, and they are all issue specific. So in the book, you will know what issue the comic or the question is coming from, but you'll only get the number of the issue. So like the book's listed by numbers, you know, so like, you know, number 63 is issue number 63. And then there'll be like A, B, C, D, like 3, 4 questions kind of in the. All right. So this is question 63A. So issue 63. And usually most of these questions are like the new thing that happened in the book. So I'm giving you some reference there. So the question is, where is the Joe's new base, the Pit 3, located?
Wait, 63.
That's with the Snake Eyes and Scarlet on the cover with the sign in the foreground, the mines, I believe.
Oh, right, that one. Yeah. I've got a useful guide to the covers here.
Yeah.
63. So where are we? 60.
So I'm giving Mark some of the harder questions because I don't think I think he can answer all the easy ones.
Oh, there we go.
Where
are we? This one. Here.
Yes, that one right there.
63.
Yep. Yeah.
So that is after the pit has been blown up. With Serpentor's invasion and all that kind of stuff. So I think this must be the desert pit opening up in Utah.
You got it. The answer that I filled in, which you got correct, is a remote desert in Utah, because they don't actually say where in Utah. All right, you were 1 for 1. Good job. All right, so this one is from 122, or issue 122.
122.
What happens to Castle Destro?
That is, so this one, 122. This is a transforming Castle Destro, probably.
Ah, yes, it transforms. Yeah, I mean, there's many things that happen to that castle, but like,
all sorts. But they're playing with the levers, and it's changing from one mode to another, and ends up attracting some attention.
It attracts attention. Yep, for giant robots. So it's a big deal. Okay, so also part of the book are all the sub-series. So this is a question from Special Missions number 26. This one should be easy for you, but anyway, it's kind of like there's easy questions, medium questions, and hard questions. So who dies on the October Guard?
Oh, well, they get better later on in the series as well. Don't forget.
This is in Special Missions Marvel era 12 and 26.
So it's most of the main October Guard, apart from Diana and Dragonsky, the flamethrower who survived.
Yes.
So
Right.
it is Gorky. No, it's Shaj, Brekov, Horoshow, and who am I forgetting?
Oh, you gotta get this one. You gotta get all 4 of them.
Stormovic.
Yeah. All right. You're 3 for 3. Well done. Well done. All right. So the next one is from 173. Of course, now we're moving into the IDW era.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I can move to a different guidebook source.
Yes.
Move to this guidebook.
Different guidebook. Yep. Right. All right, so from 173, this is what do Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow do with the deceased body of Billy?
They return it to Cobra Commander.
Yes. Right, that's a
His
pretty
father.
good question, right? I mean, like, you know that right off the top of your head pretty well, but I think a lot of people are going to be like, Billy died? I'm like, yeah, he
There's a whole
died.
bunch of stuff that happened in those 150 odd issues.
Yeah. So that's kind of the thinking that I was doing when I was making the questions. Was like, okay, now if somebody's reading that, it's like, well, I didn't know Billy died. Well, go get the comic or a trade paperback or something like that and read how he dies. You know, I mean, I guess I should put in the beginning, in the introduction, there's a lot of spoilers in this.
There is, yeah.
The whole book is spoilers, actually.
It'd
I think every
be hard without spoilers, huh?
Yes. Okay, so this one I thought would be pretty hard for you, and this one is like a hard one. So in issue 212, this is in the Death of the Snake Eyes storyline.
Right.
What does Serpentor print in the 3D printer?
I do know that. Let's just get 212. Did you say 212? Yeah. So that is right in the Death of Serpentor.
Yeah.
So Death of Snake Eyes. So yeah, they bring back Serpentor, and he's in a back to tank tubey thing, and he breaks out, and he uses sort of his brain as a kind of Wi-Fi connectivity to connect up to things in the pits, and he prints out a Serpentor helmet.
Yep. Yeah, I phrase it as his famous snake cowl, but it's the same thing. Yeah. See, this is why it's like hard to stump you, man. This is tough. That's a hard question right there, right? I mean, like,
yeah.
If you don't know, like, you're gonna be like, what the heck? Like, 3D printer? What? All right. So then now the next one is from 281. By the way, you're what, 5 for 5? 1, 2, 3,
Okay,
4,
yeah.
6 for 6. So in number 281, what soldier is recruited into G.I. Joe after saving Hawk?
Does the cover give it away? Otherwise, I'll flash up the cover. I can't.
No, it's okay.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cover does give it away.
Yeah.
So she's on the front cover. It's
Right.
Sherlock,
Right.
who was introduced in this issue 281, one of the big new characters, and sort of stars of that arc, Murder by Assassination, which is a really good storyline.
It is. Okay, so the I just realized I skipped a Skybound question. So the flow of the book is Marvel, IDW, Skybound, and then it goes to the Devil's Due. So I forgot to make a Skybound question, but you want to quiz me on one? I'll put that question in the book. I've already made the Skybound questions, but I haven't made it for the newest ones. I think last I ended was like 320. So anyway, all right, we're gonna go to Devil's Due because I forgot Skybound. All right, so this is from Frontline number 9. It's thematic to what just recently was announced, and it's very easy, but I know you'll know this one. But because it was just announced, I thought it'd be a cool question. Who is Zartan's daughter?
Oh, there we go. Zanya.
Zanya. Yep. Yeah, they just announced
Devil's
that
Due
they're going to make.
creation.
Yep, the Devil's Due creation by Josh Blaylock, and they're now going to make a classified toy of her. He just announced that. So,
which is the second classified toy creation from a Josh Blaylock character, because they also did Kamakura as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they also did Shooter, which was a comic originated character as well. So they are digging into from G.I. Joe Declassified from Devil's Due. So they are digging into the comics for inspiration.
Yeah,
okay. There's a
I know that was an easy
for Devil's
one, but
Due as well.
yeah, and that's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, I mean, they just announced that, so I was like, oh, let me throw that question in there because again, it's an easy question, but it's also thematic and important because now it's a classified toy, so everybody's going to be like, who is this Vanya character? I don't know who she is, and so hopefully Josh Blaylock will get a lot of credit for creating her. Okay, so here's a little bit tougher one. So the book flows through the stories between the comics, but on the last section of our book, it's called the creators, and we just do all kinds of questions on creators. Larry and all these other people that have participated in making the books, artists, and Marvel Comics and different publisher things. So the last, I guess, fifth of the book is these type of questions. So this is no longer issue specific. All right. Well, it is issue specific, but the answer is in the creator section. Okay. What writer took over disavowed DDP Real American Hero issue number 26?
That is Brandon Joa.
Yeah.
Brandon
It's impossible to stop you. I can't stop you, I don't think.
Well, and also, given that we've had him on to talk to him as an interview, it would be a little bit embarrassing if I didn't remember.
Yes, exactly. So, and that was a big part of that time frame of having a fan who got to be a writer, and now it's his career. I mean, you know what I mean? He's writing a G.I. Joe video game, I think. Yeah. Okay, so again, we're in the creator section. So how many publishers have published a Real American Hero since 1982? This is the publisher.
Ooh. Because that could be a trick question.
This is just the Real American Hero continuity too, by the way.
So obviously it started with Marvel. Did Devil's Due? They did call that one of their books a Real American Hero, didn't they? Or am I imagining that?
Are you phoning a friend or asking the audience, or are you talking to yourself?
Did Devil's Due ever call their book G.I. Joe a Real American Hero?
Yes, they did.
I think they did. So does that count? Even though it's not okay.
Yes, in 2001, when it was restarted in 2001, it had the Real American Hero title under it, and it continued the story right after, which is why it's included in this book.
Volume 2. It called it Volume 2, didn't as well. So, so you had Devil's Due, then you had IDW, and you have Skybound as the principal publishers. We also had Hasbro have published G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero books as toy pack-ins.
Those don't have the actual Real American Hero label under it, I don't believe. Do they?
I think so. I think some of the reprints might. I don't know. I would have to double check.
I mean, they are part of the continuity.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they had that Real American Hero label under it. So this is the trick question, part of the trick question. So the question again was, how many publishers have published a Real American Hero since 1982? Publishers. Hasbro would have published that.
Hasbro did. Yep.
They did put the Real American Hero? Oh, shit, I already made a mistake. See? This is where Gary's going to have to really catch me on things. So those Hasbro ones, I don't remember them. Did they have? I guess that maybe they did. And then
you've got up here, where are we? You've got
Well, that's a reprint.
Parks Run.
all right. Yeah. See, but that's a reprint. That's a reprint, right?
Yeah. That
All
one.
right,
That one
maybe
is a
so.
bit.
So see, this is where editors are important. So you're gonna have to look through this book and be like, all right, that question's got some vague answers.
And you might have to say American publishers too. There might be. So what was your
but
answer?
I mean, like the UK stuff isn't real American Hero. Those UK.
I was just trying to think then whether there is any exceptions. I'm not 100% sure.
All right, so the answer is partially a trick question. The answer is that I have right now need to be revised as 4. So it's Marvel, and then it's Image Comics, then it's Devil's Due Comics, and then it's IDW, and then it goes back to Image. So it's the same publisher. So technically, Skybound is not the publisher; they're just the imprint, and Image Comics is the publisher.
Right? Did you say Image and Devil's Due is separate?
Yep, because they were.
Okay.
Yeah. And the question was earlier, on issue number 26 when Brandon took over is the actual issue when it switched from no longer Image Comics to then Josh Blaylock's Devil's Due being the sole publisher. So I guess in theory maybe it could be 5 if you include Hasbro, but it is a trick question because Image is twice.
Yeah, Marvel, Devil's Due, Image, IDW, and and then the Hasbro would
the 3 half issues of Hasbro. So maybe I'll revise that to 5. Remind me of that later.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so here's this is going to be technically the second question in the book. So in the introduction, we're going to have one question that's above this one, and then ask this one. Okay, so what Hasbro CEO authorized the G.I. Joe Real American Hero toy line and the comic?
That is Stephen Hassenfeld.
Right. And the question before that, so the number one question is, what Hasbro CEO authorized G.I. Joe the Mobile Fighting Force Man, whatever the actual title of the 12-inch toy is? What CEO authorized that?
That is Mr. Hassenfeld.
It starts with an A, Alan.
Okay, it was Alan Senior.
So Alan and then Stephen have given us a lot of joy. All right, that's your 10 questions, and I think you were 10 for 10, or maybe 9.5 if you count the publisher one, or
maybe we both lost on that one.
Yeah. All right, so I did create a bonus question I just made up for this podcast. There's a cat that walked by my dog's. She's awake.
Roll.
She's like, oh, there's a cat. See, George? He's awake. He's like, cat. They're sitting in a public street over here in California. So the bonus question: what Image owners have created Joe Comics?
Image
owners. Created.
Yeah.
So that's that word encompasses a lot.
Yeah, like the Image partners would include Rob Liefeld. It would include Robert Kirkman if we're let's see who else. So, what if you've got like the founders? Were they like Jim Valentino, Eric Larson,
Jim Lee,
Todd McFarlane?
I was waiting for you to get that one. Yes.
And I don't think Jim Lee has ever had any G.I. Joe published, as far as I'm aware.
Definitely, I don't think he maybe did one cover, but not in terms of like creating the stories. Yeah, so the answer is McFarlane, Liefeld, and Kirkman. And Kirkman, because he wrote Cobra Law and Void Rivals, counts. But Liefeld did Dead Game, so
Yeah,
that's G.I. Joe. So I thought that's that. Like I said, I was trying to make up a bonus question. So, this is the fun that I'm hoping that people will have with our book, right? As you go through it, as a reader, like you're like, I know that one, I don't know that one, and then you look at the answer and you learn it, and then you really, and also as a resource, you'd be like, well, what the hell is happening in 273? I can't even remember. You know what I mean? And you look it up and you're like, oh yeah. And then, if you want to cross-reference like you were doing, thank you, by the way. I mean, like, or any of the websites out there and things like that, But one of the things that I did do for fun is I typed in the questions to Google and an AI thing, a couple of them that I wrote, and it got them wrong. And I was like, perfect. I was like, you're not going to get them right unless you pull out your trade paperback or your issues or something like that, or go on like Yojo up into a certain point is fairly accurate. And then some of the other websites out there now that do summaries are helpful, but they don't do super deep dives on a lot of the stuff. So that's the book. It's cool. You know what I mean? I think you'll have a blast with it because you're going to be like, oh shit, I don't know that one. What's that one? But maybe you do because you did know them all so far.
Yeah. I'm competitive, so yeah.
Well, actually, that's one of the things that we're suggesting in the book is to do like a +1, -1 quiz game with yourself. So as you go through the book, right, you'll be like, all right, I got that one right, +1. I got that one wrong, -1. And hopefully you'll have 1,000 points of scores. Because you get 1 point per question. And actually, so the book's funded, right? So I got to do a little talk about the stretch goals. So the stretch goals, we have 3 already planned. Technically it's 4, but it's the next stretch goal is at 3,000, and the next one is 4,000. And it's going to be a bookmark that has it's 2 bookmarks that has connecting art from Jamie Sullivan, and it was on the number 300 cover. It has Duke punching Cobra Commander. So one bookmark will have Duke, and the other one will have Cobra Commander getting punched. So the bookmarks will connect. Because I figured if you kind of need 2 bookmarks for this book. So we'll use the bookmarks, and Mark, you can use the bookmark, to mark your space in the book. So we get 2 bookmarks, and then I think it's 7,000, which we should get to pretty fairly quickly. The 3,000 and 4,000. I mean, I think we're already at 2,000. I didn't look just instantly, but we still got 37 days. Is a pen that I'll have afteractionreport.net on it, because we have word finds in there, and you need a pen to write in the book. You know what I mean? To mark on the book. And then at I think the 10,000 stretch goal, we might do it closer. We are going to take all the word finds and print them out on 8x11, because the book is 6x9, right? So we're going to print them out on 8x11 paper, some nice paper with some cool design. And that way you can have it on paper. And for all you nutcases out there who are afraid to write in a book and you want to keep your book near me, you can write on the paper. And then you can make copies of the paper, whatever. So we're going to print out all the word finds and scrambles and whatever activities we put in, and that will just be a stretch goal that comes with the book. And that'll be in the box when it arrives. So all of our stretch goals are very thematic to what's happening in the book to help you learn more about G.I. Joe.
And one of the tiers as well is contributing your own questions to the book, right?
Yes. Yes. I totally forgot about it. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, if you want to contribute to the book, you can The maximum questions you can give us is 15. I don't know if we'll use them all, but yes. So this is one of those things with Kickstarter where we get money to help support us to make the books and everything like that, but also like it's fan engagement, and we really are hoping that I think we have 3 people that have already backed it, maybe, or two or three that have chosen that reward. So you get the book, and then you get the right questions, and the questions will go in the book. Now, the questions for this reward are not the story ones. They will go in the creator section. And at the beginning of the book, we're going to have like a single page of easy questions, medium questions, and hard questions. We're using our on the screen there it's Private Pew Pew. He's been our narrator in all of our books to help with whatever. So it's going to be private easy questions, sergeant medium questions, and general hard questions. All right. You gotta have some fun with these things, right?
You could have the soft master, the medium master, and the hard master.
Oh, right. There are. Yeah, yes, we could do it that way too. Oh, maybe we could do it private soft master. Private sergeant medium master.
Right.
General hard master. We could do that.
Cool.
I like that.
And you're already thinking ahead to your next project or projects? Do you have a long list of things that you still want to do?
Oh, well, this book is kind of a quick inspiration. The idea kind of was inspired in September, really. And the reason was because the next book for Kickstarter would have been After Action Report Volume 4, which is international, and that's the Europe. And that book is about 75% done. But recently, this is very cool. G.I. Joe comics have been discovered in Slovakia. Slovakia. Again, these are the 80s versions. And Czechoslovakia, which I think is now called the Czech Republic. So there's 2 additional languages, and those are like 5 or 6 issues. And I have some pictures of them, but no Americans have been able to find them. So if you're listening to this and you're in Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, or Slovakia, I don't know what that is right now. Is that still?
It was Czechoslovakia, and then that separated into Czech Republic and Slovakia.
Okay, so Slovakia. So, all right. So, and there are distinct languages. So those books came around, and there's just a lot of information that I don't have a lot of all the covers and things like that. So the Volume 4 international one, I wasn't really ready to do the Kickstarter with that one because I don't feel like I can make it until, especially these new comics, get them in hand, and things like that. So that one was going to be right now, but then I came up with this idea. I was like, I need some other idea, and the Trivia and Activity book seemed fine, and it was actually quite easy because it's not all, there's no images and covers and all that stuff, and it's just I can sit down with my head and write them. Because I love being a writer. I mean, this is the thing that I have to thank Roger Taft for inspiring me to be very much this, and it was his idea. And, he's been a big part of all these books, but, his life is moving in a different direction with a job and health and things like that. So he's having to step away. So, but I'm like, well, let's push the pedal down and keep going. As I sit in my car. All right.
Yeah. That's it. Don't push the pedal.
That book will probably be in 2026. The Volume 4, I'll finally pull the trigger on that. But really in 2026, the big one will be Command Files 3, which is Cobra. Actually, the brand new postcard that I just got. I literally just picked it up over here in Burbank. Coming soon. So Greg Augustin believes that he can get that book to people in 2027. We'll do the Kickstarter, and he's already working on it. And that's just Cobra characters and stuff like that. Which, of course, it's kind of a different book because there's so many Vipers and there's not as many characters for in the Cobra world. So that book will be next year too.
Cool. Yeah.
And
also,
unless if somebody else has got another idea out there that want to turn an after action report book into something, they want to do something, I'm open to that. I mean, if I'm helping edit it and organize it, I can do that. I mean, the writing of the books and stuff like that, I don't know if I can handle more than I already got on my plate, but I can certainly handle organizing it.
And with Skybound as well, the number of variant covers that they do for each issue, I'm sure you've got more than enough for one volume just from what they've done so far.
I think they would be like this big in the book. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're like this big in the book, and I think we'd have to make them like this big and, like 5 pages of number 1 or whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, the Transformers number 1 has reached 120 covers. I mean, a Transformers comic Skybound group of guys who are trying to collect them all. And wow. I kind of have had to like relax because I'm like, I don't know. I just, and that 122 covers is like everything that's a single comic. That doesn't count trade paperbacks or hardcovers or anything like that. It's the blind bags, it's the digital printings, it's all those retail exclusives and things like that. So one guy that I know has got 122 of them. Number 1 Transformers, which is what now, 2 years old? I mean, like, you got to focus just on getting one issue for that kind of, but so
fill up a long box with just one issue.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with like if we end up doing a Skybound after action report, which we probably would at some point, but it's like, it's. I mean, I think it was like 20. Well, Transformers 25 just came out, and what did G.I. Joe 12? Is that what the Dreadnought War is? I think so. I mean, there's not even actually
13. Is the most recent one, Dreadnought War.
It's not even really that many issues per se. You know what I mean? 13 issues is really not that many, and what the 4 miniseries were 5 each. So and obviously an after action report Skybound book. Is so fresh that it almost needs more time to, for them to,
marinate,
do whatever they're gonna do. I don't know, but and of course that would include the Real American Hero too. Whereas like, because we would have to mix the continuities because each book is mixed the different continuities. Our previous books have mixed the continuities because we were doing it by era of publisher. So.
Oh, you could do a flip book.
Oh, that's an idea.
You can have that idea. I'll give that to you.
Okay. Because the design of the after action report books is you actually have to turn them to read them because we put the stuff on the side. So like some of it's written this way and some of it's written this way. So you actually have to turn it, or at least turn your head. So yeah, doing it as a full blown flip book. I know that's an idea. All right, I'll take that. Maybe that's a good way to differentiate the Skybound books from the previous ones. But anyway, we kind of have maxed out the comic guidebooks, so that that's why we did the tribute books, and of course once Greg finishes Cobra, that'll be it for Command Files. There won't be anything. Although somebody did pitch the idea of a Command Files vehicle book, but
vehicles, yeah.
But Greg was like, I don't know anything about vehicle. All I know about is character. Everybody has their specialty thing. So I got to find somebody who really knows all about the vehicles who would like to write a book on the vehicles. So maybe Command Files 4 would be vehicles. I don't know. Somebody, if you're out there and you want to do that, pitch it to me. I'm not doing it. I don't think Greg would. Greg would supervise it. Yeah, and I would do all the logistics, but the actual writing and gathering the images and things like that, and making it a resource compared to a story thing, because these are guidebooks, and we're not creating new stories and things like that and creating stuff like that. We're just like what you did, like you used our book to answer the questions. The resource.
Well, I was trying to illustrate the Let's illustrate the issue that we're talking about. Except for Sherlock, where it helped me accidentally cheat, but... Right. Cool. So the people of California, they have deliveries which they're not getting. There are lifts of people wanting to be taken places, and they're waiting around, wondering where all of the drivers are. There are dogs which are not being walked and are sitting patiently. So I won't keep you any longer, Josh. But it's a joy as always to see you and speak with you. Look forward to the next time that we'll see each other in person.
Will you be making Joe Fest? I know you're not coming to Iowa.
Joe Fest 2026, baby.
All right, I'll see you then. I'll be there. I got my table booked and everything.
Cool.
And man, hey, right. I just want to say that like what you and Tim are doing with all the breakdowns of the issues and the interviews and stuff like that. I mean, you're pretty much the biggest supporter of the G.I. Joe comics out there. And, I mean, I know it's your passion too. And I'm glad you're having fun doing it. And, I watch as many of them as I can. You do put out a lot of them though.
We do. One a week and sometimes even more than that. When there are people that want to talk to us, special people like you, Josh, try and make the extra space. So
I appreciate it. Well, we're in the same boat doing the same thing, just I'm printing your video.
Video and audio. Afteractionreport.net is the place to go at the end of watching this or listening to this, which will take you to the latest Kickstarter, as well as all of the back catalogue for all of those books already published. And so I think that is it. Thank you, Josh. And before we go, do you want to join in with a little sing-song to remind people that...
Yes. International podcast. Oh wait, sorry. I jumped. I jumped the cue.
1. Nobody beats you. No, I got it wrong.
International podcast.
Oh dear. See, this is why Tim makes the big bucks. Okay.
Can I paraphrase? I'll keep paraphrasing. Talking Joe, the G.I. Joe Real American Hero podcast, Energon podcast.
Laters. Oh,
all right. Thank you.